Just after midnight on March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 prepared to leave Kuala Lumpur for Beijing. On board were 239 people. It should have been a routine overnight flight. Instead, it would become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation. MH370 lifted off at 12:41 a.m. For the first several minutes, everything appeared normal. The Boeing 777 climbed to cruising altitude, passengers settled in, and the flight moved northeast toward Vietnamese airspace. At 1:19 in the morning, the cockpit acknowledged air traffic control with what seemed like a routine sign-off. The words were simple, calm, and unremarkable. They would also become the last known voice transmission from MH370. Less than a minute later, the aircraft's transponder stopped transmitting. On civilian radar, MH370 effectively vanished. To air traffic controllers, it was as if the plane had simply gone dark. But MH370 had not simply fallen from the sky. Military radar data later suggested the aircraft had turned back, crossed the Malaysian peninsula, and continued flying west. The flight was no longer following its scheduled route, and no distress call had been made. Days later, investigators turned to satellite data. Although the aircraft had vanished from conventional tracking, it had continued exchanging automated signals with an Inmarsat satellite. Those brief electronic handshakes suggested MH370 flew for hours more, ending somewhere along a vast arc stretching deep into the southern Indian Ocean. The search became one of the largest and most expensive in aviation history. Countries across the region deployed ships, aircraft, and surveillance assets. But the southern Indian Ocean is vast, remote, and unforgiving. Finding a single aircraft there was like searching for a needle in a moving, storm-covered sea. More than a year later, debris linked to MH370 began washing ashore on islands and coastlines in the western Indian Ocean. These fragments confirmed the aircraft had ended its journey at sea, but they did not explain why it disappeared or where the main wreckage lay. Over the years, countless theories have emerged: mechanical failure, deliberate human action, decompression, hijacking, and more. Yet no single explanation has been proven. Without the main wreckage and flight recorders, the final moments of MH370 remain hidden behind a wall of uncertainty. A decade later, MH370 still stands as one of aviation's deepest mysteries. We know the flight disappeared. We know it ended in the ocean. But for the families of those on board, and for investigators around the world, the most important question remains unanswered. What really happened on that flight?